Baltimore City Department of Public Works had anything but a typical year. The agency faced scrutiny amid an inspector general investigation into excessive heat practices and unsafe working conditions. Soon after, the department mourned multiple employees, some who died on the job. An independent review ordered by the mayor found a history of heat-related episodes and inadequate training, among other things. The mayor and DPW director have promised to improve worker safety and take corrective actions. All this amid a year-long effort to get property owners to check hundreds of thousands of water pipes for lead. Here is a look back at 11 News Investigates reporting over the year as our coverage continues into the late-breaking developments at the Baltimore City DPW.
I think it's messed up. I don't think he deserved to be shot. He was just out here doing his job, so it's pretty crazy.
That worker was picking up trash in this Edmonton Village neighborhood. Police say the shooting happened around 10:40 this morning.
Officers learned that DPW workers were in the area cleaning up trash in the rear of the location when an unidentified suspect began firing at them.
Police say the worker has a gunshot wound to the torso. One worker says he had his back turned when he heard the shots. He dove into the trash.
Essential Baltimore City employees forced to work in unsafe conditions. That's what Baltimore City Inspector General Isabel Cumming found on July 16th after visiting 9 DPW facilities.
From what you saw at the various site visits, are DPW workers working in acceptable conditions?
No.
Why?
Because some of the conditions are intolerable because it's hot. Sometimes it's dangerous.
Some of the 9 sites the Inspector General visited did not give workers adequate access to water and Gatorade. Others did not have sufficient air conditioning. And one of the Inspector General's main points that while many of DPW's infrastructure issues are decades old, the vital fixes to help workers right now would be simple and inexpensive. The mayor says he thanks and respects the work of the Inspector General's office. He told 11 News he and his team will make sure DPW employees have the resources they need to safely do their jobs.
You'll never get from me is a stopgap. You'll never get, we're going to do this now and pass the buck. We're going to pull the Band-Aid off and actually build the new facilities that our workers deserve and not just consistently patch up buildings that are long past their life cycle.
Baltimore City's Department of Public Works is investigating the death of a worker. The DPW says a crew member named Ronald died while on the job.
The chief medical examiner's office ruled his death accidental and the cause hyperthermia, which means his body temperature was abnormally high. DPW has put a pause on trash and recycling to conduct mandatory heat safety training.
Him knocking on my door, which for me is the most traumatic part, just because he used his last strength to ask for help from a stranger.
Gabby Avendano says she did everything she could to help DPW worker Ronald Silver. Gabby got neighbors to help. She called 911 again.
And it said he wasn't breathing, and the 911 operator instructed me to get him off my stoops and lay him on the pavement, and that we needed to give him chest compressions. She said, give him chest compressions, otherwise he'll die.
DPW is confirming to us that one of its employees is recovering after she was hit by what they're calling a stray bullet. Now actually went to the scene and spoke with a woman who heard the gunshots near a DPW facility.
I heard what sounded like gunshots, but I thought it was the TV because the kids were watching the program. And then after I realized I heard all the sirens and all, I realized that something must have happened outside.
According to police, officers found a 36-year-old woman who had been shot around 3 p.m. Monday. The Department of Public Works has not identified her, but says that she was hit while driving home from work, then drove to a nearby DPW facility on North Fulton Avenue to get help.
Sources told me that Deputy Director Richard Luna is leaving, and Mayor Brandon Scott confirmed that to me in a statement this afternoon. Luna joined Baltimore City's DPW in 2022, and in June 2023, Mayor Scott named him the department's interim director after the previous director, Jason Mitchell, left. During Luna's time as interim director, DPW got the equipment and manpower necessary to bring back weekly recycling pickups. But Luna's departure now comes at the end of a challenging summer for the city agency.
And now an 11 News Investigates exclusive. We have learned Baltimore City officials have now received a much anticipated report examining heat safety standards and culture issues, the Department of Public Works.
Officials hired a DC law firm in August to conduct a review after DPW sanitation worker died on the job.
11 News Investigates learned on October 10th that DPW had received a law firm's report examining the city agency's heat safety policies and procedures. At one point, the law firm found a history of heat-related medical emergencies among solid waste collectors, such as fainting, severe cramping, vomiting, and more severe physical responses, with an inadequate agency response from DPW. Adding to the history, the report noted that DPW had no protocol for heat-related medical emergencies and hadn't had heat safety trainings since 2022. The law firm also found issues with supervisors retaliating against frontline workers, trucks without air conditioning, and confusion about the chain of communication for emergencies. A member of Silver's family summing up their reaction to the findings.
Heartbreaking.
And some breaking news here, just while this story was rolling. I can now confirm that the head of the Bureau of Solid Waste, which this report is about, is now out. DPW says it does not comment on personnel matters, but they do say we can confirm that Yvonne Moore Jackson, Deputy Bureau Head for Solid Waste, is currently serving as the interim Bureau Head.
Everything that was in the law firm's report, there wasn't a single surprise to my office.
On Tuesday, the Inspector General's fifth report arrived with two major findings. First, issues with the data. Cummings' office asked both DPW and the city's Bureau of Risk Management how many DPW employees reported heat-related illnesses since 2021. The data she got back didn't match up. DPW told Cumming that there were just 16 reports, while Risk Management told her there were 26. Turns out, DPW omitted 10 reports, which included complaints from employees like
lightheadedness, dehydration, blacking out due to heat, dizziness, vomiting, heat stroke, fainting, chafing due to excessive heat, and cramping. And the fact that the data on something that important was such a major omission of 40%, almost 40%, that's just not acceptable.
In his response to the Inspector General, DPW Director Khalil Zaid writes in part, "I want to be clear that this should not have occurred. We should have provided the information as received from the third party without omission."
I said, they're lying to you. It's not a good thing to say to me.
And I heard the guy holler, "Stop, stop, stop," real loud, real screeching loud noise. So we stopped and try to figure out where alley he was coming from.
This neighbor, who does not want to be identified, says Baltimore police blocked off this alleyway off of Baker Street around 10:30 Friday morning after getting a call for a vehicle crash. Police say when officers got to the West Baltimore scene, they learned DPW Bureau of Solid Waste worker Timothy Cartwell somehow became trapped between a garbage truck and a wooden light pole while trying to remove trash from a bin. He later died at the hospital.
My brother-in-law was not just a trash man. My brother-in-law was a man of courage, of good deed, of love, of support, of giving. He was kind, he was gentle, and he was a man that stood for what was right.
Cartwell's death makes 4 DPW workers who have died on duty in just the past few years. They are Donald Savoy, Trina Cunningham, and Ronald Silver.
We need for you to step up, do what's right, fix what needs to be fixed. Don't wait another second. Don't wait another minute. Don't wait another hour, because we don't know the day or the hour that something can happen, tragedy can come, and this will happen again.
Throughout 2024, WBAL-TV 11 News was here.
Reporting on the stories impacting you most.
From the moments of celebration.
Touchdown, Ravens!
to the moments where time stood still.
The Key Bridge has collapsed.
This is something that will definitely go down in history.
And the times we witnessed communities coming together.
We are Maryland tough, and we are Baltimore strong.
We were here.
And the National Weather Service has issued a warning.
Tracking severe weather, alerting you first to the storms that left an impact.
Taking you closer to breaking news from an exclusive angle with Baltimore's only news helicopter.
Bringing the world stage to you.
At the Paris Olympics, I'm Jason Newton.
Guiding you through a presidential election unlike any other.
Donald Trump is elected to become the 47th president.
And helping your family make informed decisions here at home. As the new year unfolds,
we will be right here, providing trusted, relevant reporting on the stories that shape our lives here in Maryland.
We are WBAL-TV 11 News.